There it is, New York City. And the Warriors wrapping up the season series against the Knicks. Stop 3 on this 4-game road trip. Front end of a back-to-back. And would you believe these are number 1 and number 2 in field goal percentage defense. Knicks number 1, Warriors number 2. But with Kevon Looney coming back, Wiseman coming back, and Steph Curry back, there's a lot of good mojo with the Dubs tonight.
Got some size back. You got your best player, superstar, transcendent talent, Steph Curry back. He looks like he's happy sprinting around. Got to dictate the tempo. This is the slowest paced team in the league. How do you do that? Rebound and run, throw it ahead. Don't get discouraged if there's a lot of stoppages, a lot of fouls. Play through all that.
Curry, Oubre, Draymond, Looney starting with Andrew Wiggins. And Steph begins the scoring, dropping in a 3.
It's a nice start. Get a little split action. Julius Randle isn't close enough.
So Elfrid Payton, R.J. Barrett. Watch Bullock with Nerlens Noel and Julius Randle. Mitchell Robinson's out with a fractured hand, so Nerlens Noel now starting.
He got off to a quick start. Reggie Bullock did last time they saw this team.
And speaking of quick start, remember 40 points by the Knicks at Chase Center in the first quarter. Josh Tibbin, Mitchell Irvin, and C.J. Washington blowing the whistles. So Draymond the hub. The skip pass to Oubre. He looked down and still made the 3. That's how hot he is. When you look down, you never make it.
Draymond is looking at his defender, R.J. Barrett, just cheating off a little too much. You don't know my guy's hot?
I'll tell you, Randle has been simply incredible. Shot clock down to 8. Julius Randle just named an all-star right before tip. And fading and firing.
He's got a lot of tools in that bag, and he loves to face up. You got to be ready to defend.
Knicks have won 4 out of 5. Kalena mentioned that at the beginning of the broadcast. And Draymond missing the 3. The Warriors were 9 of 38 on 3s in the first meeting. But quick shots, quicker tempo, get up and down. You can see it.
And they're trying to get off to a fast start. So far, so good.
Bullock is their barometer. When he's in double figures, they're 7-2. So you got to watch him as he hits his first shot inside the 3-point arc after missing the earlier 3.
Stay attached to his body.
Wiggins got the good screen from Looney, and just right there, Kevon gets nothing other than the coaches see that as a screen assist.
He's such a smart player.
Elfrid Payton probing, that's what he does. He's not a great perimeter shooter for a guard, but he's really good getting into creases.
Change of pace. He has that in his game. Obviously, he's not a great shooter, but he can get to the rim.
Very early timeout, but a nice rhythm, probably for both teams. Warriors up a deuce. You know, Kalena, I don't like when the crew doubts me, but the key of give it everything. Didn't we say these are the 2 number 1 and number 2 teams in opponents' field goal percentage?
There's the proof.
Man.
Right there in yellow.
The Knicks also defend the 3, the best in the league, which is a vast improvement for Tom Thibodeau. So, I mean, it's impressive.
So you would think this would be a defensive battle, but you're always seeing that the Warriors can get shots they want if they move the ball, if they set screens and play together.
Draymond looking for cutters. Steph will come hide behind him. Draymond the decision maker. Noel was there, but hey, you attack the basket, you're going to get loose balls, offensive rebounds, and that just happened.
He had the quickest second jump. I like that he didn't shy away from contact on the first one, but first you don't succeed, try again, double team with Steph. Steph comes off of it, make the decision if you're a roller.
They get it out of Barrett's hands. And just see the way Payton is able to drive, and you got to play him as a driver.
I was going to say, you want to gap him. Let him shoot the jump shot. That's what you're trying to force him to do. But this is Steph, double team there. Draymond Green hesitates for a second, like, do I need to pass it? Is there a lob? No, they're letting me get to the rim, so I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Randle to beat the shot clock buzzer, but that's a 24-second violation. And don't think that Draymond Green isn't taking the Randle matchup personally. Tom Thibodeau's thinking, wait a minute. And you just see he's looking. Wiseman comes back, Looney comes back, Steph comes back. He's already growling.
It's like, this is a different team. But Draymond has a lot of respect for Julius Randle's game, and he's giving him some problems, even as great of a defender as Draymond is.
Wiggins with the step, and you see Noel. He's blocked 2 shots. The pump fake and/or dish once you draw the shot blocker. That'll be key because that's what Nerlens Noel does. Block shots and then runs the floor.
You say it's a slow-paced team, but they're opportunists when it comes to transition, and that was a good opportunity for him there.
And Oubre attacking. Kelly Oubre, the confidence he's playing with now.
Just quick decisions. Attack the rim. When in doubt, use that athleticism. Try to get by someone. See if they want to play on-ball defense consistently.
And Oubre is taking Payton. That's how much Steve Kerr believes in that pest defense he can play. You got to honor Randall from 3-point, but force him into tough shots. And then running the floor back. I'll tell you what, for Wiggins, it's just he played for Thibodeau, but to watch him just be consistent on both ends of the floor when you're getting 31 games in.
He switches on to their best player, Randall, and gets Roy on the other end. This is the last transition fast break opportunity for the Knicks after the block. It's always tough. That's basically like a live ball turnover, the way that block shot worked. The Warriors had a tough time getting back. Knicks had numbers and scored on the break as Andrew Wiggins missed the first free throw.
Yeah, but 18, 5, and 2 for Wiggins. 47% from the field, 37% on threes. And I wouldn't say just upper echelon, elite wing defense from him this year. And 1 out of 2 from the line. Elfrid Payton probing the baseline, got all the way to the iron. Now for made basket, there's Wiggins running it right back, and Steph with the throw ahead.
And Draymond walled off his defender so no one could really contest him at the rim. That's not a stat for Draymond. It's just being unselfish.
And Randall, little slip screen. He beat Looney all the way to the rim. What do you think of the pace so far?
Pretty good for the Warriors, I would think.
Looney with the screen. And Curry missing that 3.
And pace isn't just fast break and transition. It's getting quick shots sometimes early in the shot clock like the Warriors just did.
R.J. Barrett's one of those lefties that can always get to his left no matter what you're doing with him. Oubre didn't settle for a wing jumper. Looney with the offensive rebound. Draymond an open 3. Why not?
And he got his legs into that one. He had so much time to line that one up, and he got so low. Got some power into it.
That was a great example how offensive rebounds yield open 3s. It's just uncanny because the defense is all scattered.
Yeah, and they're going to give Draymond that shot, too.
Nerlens Noel. And just enough bother, but he misses short. Steph kind of 1-on-5. Steph all the way to the iron, and Steph will get to the line. Now, I'm going to say this early, and if it changes, you can throw your headset at me.
Okay.
But what I love about the pace and I love about 3-point shooting is Draymond hit the 3. The first game, the Knicks Warriors, we had 55 fouls and 80 free throws. Okay? It was the least watchable game of the year.
Are you trying to jinx this?
I'm just saying. I love the pace. I love 2 teams playing good basketball. And I love Josh Tiven and his crew staying the hell out of the way.
The flow of the game. It's about the flow of the game. And that's what I said at the beginning. If it does end up being like that, where a bunch of fouls start being called, you can't get frustrated. You got to play through that. But I love the Warriors' mentality. And Steph, the same thing. Just seeing an early offense. He had Nerlens Noel in a bad way, just backing up. That was kind of more transition. And see if you can get around him and get to the rim.
R.J. Barrett. They get the ball out of his hands. They make Noel the decision maker. Elfrid Payton. And there's Nerlens Noel playing volleyball off the rim, but Oubre comes out of the pack.
It's pretty good defensive possession. You had to rotate there, scramble out of it.
Curry, pump fake. Steph, little floater, and couldn't quite bank it in. The Knicks are the lowest scoring team in the league. So if you want to get in an up and down game, that would favor the Dubs for the 10th highest scoring team. We mentioned pace. That gets into possessions per 48 minutes, and that's where the Warriors are second and the Knicks are 30th.
You're seeing how Randall thinks, too. We've seen Draymond on him. We've seen Andrew Wiggins on him. We've seen Kelly Oubre Jr. on him. And he doesn't care. He's going at everybody. He'll face up against anyone, even if he feels like his defender may have some quickness. And there's James Wiseman, finally.
After 11 games with that wrist injury, Wiseman to deal with Nerlens Noel. Steph staying attached to Bullock.
Get out.
You hear Draymond, get out. I got him. And then the rebounds become important, and Draymond came back.
Ken Bazemore boxed out the big.
Steph with the trail three. Oubre was going to hammer that down. And here comes Payton. And so Elfrid Payton will draw enough contact there. Give me Wiseman. You know, Looney comes back. He's played basketball at a high level. He knows. But for Wiseman, you miss 11 games. Remember, he only played 3 college games. What's going through his mind?
I think it's the speed of the game that's toughest to pick back up and how quick you got to think, right? There's so many things that happen on the basketball court, whether it's trying to execute your own offense, trying to defend on the other side, make quick decisions. So he's got to get back to that, and I'm sure that man, Draymond Green, is going to help him out as he's going to continue to talk to him throughout the whole game.
The Warrior app just got a serious upgrade. Fans have increased access to real-time stats and game highlights, game mode, Glenn Azubuike's home number, and a brand new interactive gamified experience where you compete with fans for prizes.
But James, when it comes to his decision-making, thinking about, okay, who's going to be guarding me this game? What's the best way to attack? Thinking about that and then thinking about the defensive end. There's so many different things that's running through his mind. As a rookie that only played 3 games at Memphis, it's a lot to digest, especially if you've been out for a while.
Bazemore catch and shoot, and the continued renaissance of Bazemore's three-point shooting. I mean, to see KB at 44% on threes, that's the best of his career.
Warriors are shooting it well to start this game
against an elite defense.
It's impressive.
Alec Burks, former Warrior, who's one of the super sub scorers for the Knicks. Hey, you get an idea what Payton wants to do, but Wiseman bothered him just enough. And Randall, offensive rebounds become open threes.
It's always tough to find the shooters, but again with Payton, back up a little more, gap him.
Bazemore looking for a seam. And Wiseman, little spin move. Oubre soaring in for the rebound.
That was smart not to try to go up with it in the air. Just come down, live to see another day.
And Wiseman, he's been turning on that wing jumper, and that will either be the show and go move down the road or other things as his game progresses. Tell you what, they had kept Barrett quiet, but now the Knicks back-to-back threes.
Remember how well R.J. Barrett played last time he saw the Warriors?
Well, he's averaged 25 in his 2 meetings against the Warriors in his very young career. And Bazemore will pick up the foul.
They have the right mentality, though. Multiple guys trying to get to the rim, threatening drives. Look at Randall just hold up Ken Bazemore, then get all the way into the paint. He's looking at Kelly Oubre Jr., his defender, draw that defense in, kick it back out. We were talking about his playmaking ability. He's getting assists. He's looking for his teammates, so he's thinking about much more than just his scoring and rebound.
Oh, what a cut by Bazemore. Didn't quite catch it cleanly. Oubre misses that 3, and Burks the rebound in motion. Everything runs through Randall. Now it's like, all right, I got Bazemore. I'll set up Alec Burks. He had been 40% on threes. And Barrett with the offensive foul. Steph stood his ground.
Tried to Euro step him. Long rebounds off of these threes. So they're getting the offensive rebounds, but the Warriors were able to recover out of here. Draymond went for the rebound, didn't get it, but Steph, good awareness there, just sliding over and making it tough on R.J. Barrett.
Well, you said something important as Derrick Rose is going to check in. Long shots do yield long rebounds. And so it's not just, hey, I'm rebounding underneath the rim. All the guys on the perimeter have to come back and really be energized to fight for those loose balls.
And don't be discouraged if you don't get it. Be ready to defend.
D. Rose coming back to play for Tom Thibodeau for Dennis Smith and a couple picks. Little push shot was short. And there is Randall. I'll tell you what, Julius Randle's everywhere.
That's a smart decision from Derrick Rose, just making Draymond Green commit. Knowing how lethal Draymond Green is 2-1. It's not a foregone conclusion with him.
Yeah, 9-3 already for Randle. And Steph with Payton playing pretty good D. Draymond's going to keep shooting threes. And Taj Gibson, another Thibodeau guy in Chicago and Minnesota. Wiseman forced that turnover. Bazemore likes the corners. What a find by Oubre.
I always thought that was tough to catch the ball with one hand up high, then bring it back down, get it back into your shooting pocket. He made it look easy there off the pass from Kelly Oubre Jr.
And the Warriors are not shooting a great percentage, but the threes are working. At some point, you got to stop Elfrid Payton from driving to the rim.
They set that ball screen a little closer to the basket, so there was no time to recover. His defender got screened.
And Draymond attacking Randle. Make him play D on the other end. I just like the energy really from both teams. This has been a fun first 10 minutes of the game. And you got an offensive foul off the ball. If you thought of who was the pest who drew that foul, who would you guess?
Kelly Oubre Jr. Taj Gibson was trying to set a screen. He was fighting through, got rewarded. Warriors off to a pretty solid start, but you get the idea this is going to be a back-and-forth battle. Knicks aren't going to give up. They're still there.
The distinctive lights of MSG with the Warrior lead at 4 are indeed player resume. Big Jim, J-Dub. James Wiseman is back, and until the wrist injury, very solid rookie rankings.
And we were talking about him being off for a while and coming back and thinking the game. How do you get rhythm, right? How do you get into the flow of the game? And you've been cold for a while. You want to get to the rim, but just get your hands on some rebounds, get some deflections, get into the flow of the game that way, and your offense is going to come. They're going to try to make it easy on you.
And speaking of easy, right there, the interchange with Draymond, and he rewarded him on Randle.
Just screen, roll to the basket. Draymond's going to find this tremendous passers on this team. They want to make it to where you don't have to make a move. That would be nice if your first few buckets, you don't have to make a move, just go up and finish.
Draymond stayed down on Randle. Randle and Derrick Rose, a little two-man game. Shot clock down to 5. And D Rose for 3. Now, I'm going to put that 3 in perspective. Derrick Rose is 5 of his last 27 in the last 2 games from the field, not just threes. That has to feel like an amazing shot. Ooh. And speaking of amazing, catch radius.
The Warriors have some size finally, and they're so excited to use it.
Final minute of a very entertaining first quarter. Randle gets Wiggins on a switch. Total ISO for him. And Wiggins blocked his shot. Stayed with it. And Payton from the baseline. Elfrid Payton has been excellent in this first quarter.
Well, now he's got such a great rhythm going to the basket. See, he's going so many times.
And Wiggins will get himself to the line. But Payton's 10, Randle's 9. That is why the Knicks are in this game.
Got to look at James Wiseman's works. Draymond Green as a ball handler in pick and roll. Look how close that is to the rim. Again, no time to recover. You get to the roll, and then again, he's rolling there. And you saw Alec Burks come all the way over, but he's just too small. I haven't been able to say that much with the Warriors. The defender is too small, and the Warriors can just throw it up and use his length.
And we talk about catch radius. When Steph threw that, you know, that's over everybody else's head on the roster except for him. You know, that's where that 9'1" standing reach and the 7'6" wingspan,
it makes a difference.
Wiggins, 1 out of 2 from the line. Oh, Rose, very clever pass to Taj Gibson.
If they're going to double team the ball like that, you need some help from the weak side probably.
But an 8-second game shot clock difference. Steph thought about the quick pull.
Ooh.
And there is the quick pull for 3. And he banks it in.
He called glass. He's laughing about it. But he went to where the help was not going to be. Just rejected the screen. His defender gave him an opportunity to choose. He chose against the screen.
Yeah, Steph's got 8, 3, and 2 in this first quarter. Looking no worse for wear after being ill in Charlotte. And deflected with 3.2, shot clock off, and one more Knicks inbounds.
Look at Steph. You saw Draymond setting the screen on the other side. Steph just yanks him behind the back and saying, well, I'm not going to come off the screen because the defender's over there. Draymond's defender's over there. I'm going to go the other way.
Steve giving Steph the superstar rest. The extra 3.2 seconds. The inbound. And that's not going to count. Either way, Randall did not get it off in time. So 40 for the Knicks at Chase, 31 in the first quarter tonight. The return of Wiseman, the return of Curry, the return of Looney, and the return of a Warrior lead at the end of one. In New York with the Warrior lead at 5, Bob Fitzgerald, Kalena Azubuike, and as Derrick Rose attacks inside and Taj Gibson able to finish. Now, tonight is Andrew Wiggins' 26th birthday.
Happy birthday!
You know who else was born on this day?
Who else?
The man he was traded for, D'Angelo Russell. You know who else was born on this day?
Who else?
Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets.
There you go.
So I mean, this day, when you think about, hey, wait a minute, that's a lot of NBA guys with the same birthday, all in the league, but two of them traded for each other.
Okay, here comes
Derrick Rose. Couldn't make a shot the last 2 games, and now he's rolling.
He does have the ability to take over the game when he gets in there. Remember him with Detroit.
Brad Wanamaker's first playing time. Eric Paschall, the New York native, missing that 3. Wanamaker couldn't quite save it. Now, Burks, Taj Gibson, Obi Toppin, speaking of New York natives, with Derrick Rose and Emmanuel Quickley. Now, Quickley is one of those rookies where is he a point guard? Is he an off guard? He has the ball now, but he can score.
He has a polished offensive game. Really good touch around the rim. Loves his floaters. Could get better finishing and not avoiding contact, but he shoots it really well, too. Shot it well at Kentucky. A 2-year guy, Fitz.
2 years at Kentucky. He stayed for the education.
Yes.
Alec Burks with the pump fake, but followed his own rebound. Taj Gibson in traffic. And quickly. That's a veteran reload, and you just see that three-point stroke for that kid looks really good.
They're really high on him. And he almost plays like a veteran. Pretty smart player.
Damian Lee, Paschall, Wanamaker, Bazemore, and Wiggins. Man, rimming out that 3.
I was going to say it was nice to see the Warriors get off to a pretty good start and win the first quarter, but Knicks have taken over pretty quick here.
And quickly, great free throw shooter, good 3-point shooter. Bazemore going to dare him. And sometimes, okay, kid, let me see what you got.
Interesting.
Paschall trying to set a screen for Wiggins. And Wiggins, he loves the wings. You know, the more you watch him, you kind of see where that heat zone is for his jumper.
He was watching Taj Gibson. Wasn't playing Eric Paschall very close, so he knew he could get some space off of his screen.
Alec Burks has become a 40% three-point shooter, but misfiring there. Obi Toppin, very good defense. Took it from Bazemore. Toppin had that injury early to start the season, but he can high-rise. He was calling for that as he ran the floor.
He had some monster, crazy dunks at Dayton.
Obi Toppin was the 8th pick. Quickly was the 25th pick. Shot clock at 7. Wanamaker finding Bazemore. And that corner just set up shop right there.
Yeah, he drew 2 on the baseline, saw his 1 defender guarding 2 on the other side, fired over, make the right decision. Oh, no.
Derrick Rose all the way to the iron. But Bazemore's got 3 threes all in the same spot. He's got 9. Wiggins has 8.
Shot. Hey, look at the basket.
They're telling Paschall, look at the basket.
That was Wanamaker.
Man, Paschall. Yeah, look at the basket. How about put it in the basket and draw a foul?
Saying quickly is just too small. He loves getting the ball this close to the rim. Didn't really have to make a move. Just shot fake. Defenders coming from behind. And this is a good defensive play from Obi Toppin. And then he's going to run the floor. So Obi Toppin playing on both ends. That was one question people had about him was, can he defend? Is he going to be consistent on that end? But offensively, he can score with the best of them in college and jump with the best of them.
I want him to be successful.
Who, Obi?
Yeah, because when the Knicks took him, that's his team. You know, he's like, okay, I'm reaching here, but it's a Juan Toscano Anderson type of thing.
Okay.
Like Toppin was a Knicks fan. He gets picked by the Knicks. Like, it's a great story. It'd be good for the league. I hope he does have a great career there.
Okay.
Because playing in New York could be hard.
They blocked that one.
And quickly left that well short.
I think that was blocked.
I think so. And Oubre kind of stumbled and couldn't quite get the angle off glass. Well, in terms of pace, the Warriors have definitely sped the game up. But the Knicks have answered with Derrick Rose kind of running things. Alec Burks bumped a little. And Rose, if you watch his last two games, you would have thought he can't play anymore. And you watch tonight, and he looks like the MVP.
Trying to break out of that slump.
5 shots made in 27 attempts the last 2, but he's 4 of 4 tonight. Pascal on a cagey vet in Taj Gibson. That was a wise pass. Damian Lee rimming it out, Toppin with a rebound.
Seeing why they're a pretty good defensive team. That was disciplined defense there.
They don't make a lot of mistakes. They have a system. They play with effort, or else you don't play for Tom Thibodeau. And Toppin, how about that take with the left hand?
I think all Andrew Wiggins could do was smile after that one. That was some punishment there.
So the Knicks, they've won 4 out of 5. And pretty high-level game both ways. And Wanamaker. Ooh, they're not going to count the basket. Steve Kerr, you could see him kind of demanding, come on. That's not a continuation. But we'll hit the timeout, deciding nothing in a tight one in NYC. With an ultimate performance. The first time Steph ever had 50. And it was 8 years ago in the Garden. He had 10 threes in the game. And that was an announcement of, look out.
Hello, world.
Look out. Here he comes.
I just love his celebrations because they're so spontaneous. And then I always laugh when I see Draymond trying to give him a high five.
Now,
and he left him hanging.
What's interesting, that was Draymond's first start because David Lee was in a fight with Roy Hibbert the night before in Indiana. And so Lee was suspended. Draymond started back end of a back-to-back, and Steph went for 54. Now they're going to do the exact opposite, where they go New York, Indiana, back end of a back-to-back this week.
And Draymond and Steph have connected plenty of times, so it's all good. On the high fives.
You were concerned early on?
Yeah, just concerned, yeah. But that started the legend of Draymond Green, you're right.
But for the Knicks, they're shooting 54%. And the Warriors at 46%. Nerlens Noel with a steal on the inbound. Trying to save it to Toppin. And finally, the Warriors get the ball back. That would have not been good in terms of a timeout and a turnover straight ahead. That was not something Steve Kerr would have appreciated.
Usually the Warriors execute so well out of the timeout.
But for the Knicks, #1 in opponents' field goal percentage, #1 in defending the 3. And Pascal missing that short. Now, you don't normally have the New York offensive pyrotechnics, but it's been Derrick Rose and it's been Elfrid Payton, the 20 points from the point guard spot.
They're pretty decisive offensively, and this team doesn't shoot a bunch of threes. They want to get to the rim, points in the paint.
Quickly, little floater. And Damian Lee, very steady defensive rebounder for a wing. Pascal on the big shot blocker. Well, Nerlens Noel will change your mind every once in a while. Pascal, look at the strength. Oh, get away from the ball as he lays it in.
Just went straight into Quigley's chest, and he just ended up on the ground.
So Pascal with 5. It's upstate New York.
Pascal's like a bulldozer.
But 1 year at Fordham and then on to Villanova. Derrick Rose, well contested by Oubre that time. Steve Kerr's letting this unit run. And Wiggins missing that three, but you're going to get Steph and Draymond back in. Alec Burks, that's what he does in transition.
Small defender, game, sidesteps, all of that, getting downhill.
And you notice it, the Knicks are an opportunistic running team.
And that will be
goaltended as Wanamaker took it inside.
Wanamaker started this last game, trying to attack the rim. Played well last game. And you're just trying to turn the corner. Your defender is way behind. And Nerlens Noel, who's already altered some shots, he tried to get, they didn't give up on that one. Probably should have.
And can't touch it when it hits the glass. Yeah, Wanamaker had 13 against Charlotte and really would have been the engine to help the Warriors win if he didn't have the calamity in the last 13 seconds.
Could have had like 18. He missed like 4 layups.
That is well thrown, well finished, and a foul as Nerlens Noel with an opportunity for a three-point play.
So they're trying to figure this out. When to come over from the weak side. When do they have it under control? You see Oubre get screened, and he tries to switch late. He's behind the roller, and Damian Lee is late getting over, and this is a good decision from Derrick Rose. But that's what I'm talking about. Switching the screens. First of all, you got to call out the screen. It looked like they got caught off guard by the screen. So call out the screen and let them know what the coverage is. If you're switching, you got to call that early so Oubre can get under the screener.
Tell people who would call that screen. Whose job is that?
So the guy that's guarding the screener.
Okay.
The guy that's guarding the screener
to tell Oubre there's a screen coming to your back. Okay.
Exactly. And then you call out the coverage, and then he knows what to do.
So Wiseman is checked in. Draymond and Steph also alongside with Damian Lee and Oubre. You heard they tell Wiseman, hey, you're by yourself. And Noel, he'll live with Wiseman shooting that 10-foot fadeaway.
See, he doesn't have rhythm with that jumper yet.
Draymond, that's the principle of verticality. Back up, don't foul Derrick Rose. Make the shot tough. Steph and Draymond.
No.
And D. Rose. That's a rare miscue with Draymond getting that stolen. And Bullock missing in transition.
Draymond probably should have tried to attack and just finish that one. They stayed home.
Derrick Rose doing a good job on Curry. Staying attached to Steph. But as two defenders come with them, Damian Lee springs free. But the Warriors have cooled off on threes, and none of them are open threes.
They've had some great defensive possessions lately. The Knicks have.
So that's high screen roll that Derrick Rose operate. Wow. I'll tell you what. I mean, this is the former MVP, an amazing year for Detroit off the bench, acquired midseason in a trade, and he's got more points than anyone for either team. 12 for D. Rose.
Chase customers get offers and special access to the Golden State Warriors. Visit chase.com/Chase Center to learn more.
The traffic in Manhattan with the Chrysler Building in the background. They drive really fast in New York. With the Knicks lead at 5 with 3.5 remaining in the first half. Tonight's episode of Race in America, Monty Poole and our friend Raj Mathai, joined by Jeremy Lin as they discuss the violent attacks on the Asian American community and Lin's journey back to the NBA. Be sure to check that out following Warrior Outsiders on NBC Sports Bay Area. But I mean, Jeremy Lin, Monty, and Raj, I love that conversation just with those three guys right there on obviously a very important topic.
Always interesting, intriguing conversations.
Oubre slicing. Draymond found him, and you're excited about that cut.
That's a play they run for Kelly Oubre Jr., and it's such a good play because it happens so far under the rim, and if there's any mistake, Kelly Oubre Jr. is right at the rim. But Steph sets the down screen for him.
Randall and Draymond, that has been the matchup we've had fun watching. R.J. Barrett will ease into a three, and you know the percentages say you got to dare him to take that, but the Warriors are not rebounding these long misses as Bullock will draw a foul. Oubre will pick up the foul there, and Reggie Bullock will shoot a couple free throws. 3 years at North Carolina, 25th pick back in 2013 by the Clippers. An 84% free thrower. He's kind of one of those mercenary perimeter shooters. And so Warriors shop has all the best youth gear to get your kids into the season. I'm supposed to say onesies? Onesies, tees, hats, and jerseys at shop.warriors.com.
He's kind of got the same hairdo that Elfrid Payton used to have.
Where he looked like the Weeknd?
Yeah.
Elfrid Payton, he shaved the locks a little bit. Kelly Oubre missing that three. Draymond, tough offensive rebound, and he was shoved out of bounds. That'll be a foul on the Knickerbockers.
Draymond caught that one in the middle, and no one was really on him because they're focused on the action on the left side of the floor. He probably could have laid that one up too, but he is unselfish. Get your teammate a good look.
I mean, this is as good as the Knicks can play, I think. They've been fantastic offensively. They're very attentive defensively. I mean, this is an A-level game for New York.
They've been playing well.
Steph Curry dropping in a three. And you could use a little Curry flurry here the next 2 minutes.
Looks like he's feeling good.
And Steph's got 11 with the three made threes. Randall, I tell you what, lefty to lefty. And that rebound, again, they cannot pull the rebound. Wiseman changed that. Welcome back, Big Jim. And there he is running the floor. Wiseman spinning around. How about that? Oh, that end-to-end for James Wiseman.
Look at the bench jumping around, spinning. How about the agility for the big?
Payton attacking. Nerlens to doesn't want to shoot that. Wiseman changed that shot. And then you've got a rebound foul. And where's that going to go? Draymond was saying, hey, wasn't I inside Randall? But I think Draymond will get tagged with the infraction.
Pass ahead to James Wiseman. Tough catch and the presence of mind with R.J. Barrett come over.
Come on, you haven't played in 11 games and you still got that?
Yeah, light on his feet like a ballerina at 7 foot. We got the fans chant. I just love hearing the fans chant anything. They're fanning MVP for Julius Randle chanting.
Well, I think that Mully and Darrell said it right in that if you're playing well in New York, you're glad the fans are there. If you're not playing well, yeah, be better if we had no fans. Because they can be a tough crowd. But Randall making his first All-Star team. And he's got 11 in the first half. Draymond's made him work. He's 4 of 10. But for the Knicks, I mean, this is not a team that scores. And yet you wouldn't know it in this first half as Payton fouls Steph.
I just think that was Elfrid Payton that came over and James Wiseman had to make the adjustment. But you're trying to end this half strong.
Yeah, the Knicks average 103 points. That's 30th. That's the bottom in scoring in the league. But defensively, they're at the top. Oh, Steph discontinued dribble. And he carried that. He was trying to think of a lob to Wiseman there. You could see it.
They almost did it so smooth they missed it because he's such a great ball handler. He's such a magician with the ball. That was highlight reel worthy at the end of it. The pass behind the back, he was going to make a highlight.
Knicks at 48%, Warriors at 47%, but at Chase Center, the Warriors made only 9 threes. They've already made 8 in the first half, and there's Oubre again. He's just always giving energy on-ball defense.
You can't be lackadaisical around Kelly Oubre Jr. They almost made him pay. Look at full court pickup.
I don't think Oubre gets tired very often.
It's in great shape.
And there's Oubre again. This one is off his leg, but still another deflection.
And Steph Curry was fighting over the top of that screen.
2,000 fans let in for the first time this season in New York. Randall, 41% on threes, but missing there. And Wiseman did a good job with Noel there.
And Draymond is helping on the roller, helping and recovering, closing back out, getting on his horse. Got him.
Steph.
Oh.
So you wonder, if you haven't played with someone for 11 games, that normally is going to be an easy pass and a dunk. You could just see it, and it just, pass wasn't there, and then Wiseman wasn't ready to catch it.
The pass is a little off target. The right idea, drew his man in, draw and dish.
There's going to be a lot of those. And Payton sent away, but that will be a goaltend as Wiseman cleaned that up. But apparently was on the way down.
Okay. You'd like to get something good to end here, but Draymond, you want him to try to go up and get everything. That clearly hit the backboard first, though.
Can't touch it once it hits the backboard. Bullock trying to stay with Steph. Draymond, they're daring him.
It's smart. They're helping off of Draymond, keying on Steph.
Yeah, Draymond made 7 threes against Thibodeau when he was the Bulls coach. That's still his career best in a game. But Thibodeau's daring him as Draymond's 1 of 4 from distance. Knicks can't quite freeze it out. About a 7-second big clock, little clock difference. And Barrett high off the backboard, and that's a 24-second violation.
You got to add a little more to the game clock. It kept running after the shot clock.
They will. They'll adjust that.
There you go.
The officials were saying, hey, the Warriors had the rebound. Maybe we won't have the violation. But in this situation, they'll move it back to 7.2, and Bazemore will sneak in. This is to put another three-point shooter.
Might as well.
Steph, the final 5. Now down to 3 to 2. Draymond will end the half. So, you know what? The Knicks on a 118-point pace. That's not what they do. But for the Warriors, you're integrating Looney and Wiseman back in. Steph's got 11, but it is guys like Payton and Derrick Rose, along with Randall, that have been the problem. The Knicks have the lead at the half. Greg Papa, the Hall of Famer and New Yorker, Chris Mullin, along with Darrell Wright, our Jack in the Box at the half, is on the way. The City of Dreams, the Big Apple, New York City, with the Knicks leading as our Jack in the Box at the half continues. And pretty entertaining first half. I formally thought that the Warriors would play a quality game informally without your jacket on.
I got hot. I got hot.
You got hot like Derrick Rose got hot.
I got hot.
That's what it was.
I'm thinking about the Warriors defensively making it a little tougher on the Knicks in the paint. Right? This is a team that gets a big percentage of their points in the paint. Communicate a little better, cut down some of those mistakes, their pick and rolls, all those different things. You got Derrick Rose driving in there, so clog that paint up and then close out to the three-point shot secondarily.
Yeah, that high pick and roll, you had Payton and Derrick Rose combined for 22 points. And our forward plays of the day, 5 of 27 the 2 previous games, but 5 of 7 in the first half tonight.
Getting to the rim in a lot of different ways. His three-point shot, try to close out to that as best as you can, but he still has some explosiveness, and this is on the offensive side for the Warriors.
But Kent Bazemore, 3 threes from essentially the same spot, and know your role and know where you're good at, and you like the 9 off the bench for KB.
And his teammates are creating for him. It's all about playing together.
So our KFC Bucket Chart brought to you by your hometown KFC. And Derrick Rose, he got going driving, and then you said the rhythm picked up for his perimeter shot.
He still has some quickness, and you're going to have to make sure you move your feet if you're on the ball. But guarding his pick and roll, understand he's trying to get to the rim. He does have the mid-range game. The 3-ball, you can live with him shooting at times, but clog that paint up, make it tough at the rim.
Yeah, and I think you hit on it, that high pick and roll, that's sort of the key, because the point guards are getting off and they're getting points in the paint with the roller. So how the Warriors deal with that, as Nerlens Noel with Elfrid Payton. And there's Draymond. That's one way to deal with it. Knock it away.
That's a great defensive position to start.
And then Wiggins. They're going to count that. Now, we didn't see a continuation on a Bazemore shot, but Wiggins is going to get the foul and the field goal.
Defense leads the offense. He sees Julius Randle coming over, and Julius Randle was going to try to foul him the whole time. He was single-minded in that approach, and he did not think that Andrew Wiggins would get the continuation.
That's Randle's first foul. So Wiggins joins Steph in double figures, and now both Curry and Wiggins 11 each to lead the Dubs.
But last possession, they double-teamed the pick and roll. They rotated. They helped recover. So you want to continue that.
Elfrid Payton and Randall with that high look. With Randall, we mentioned 5.5 assists. He's kind of the hub. And Steph made Bullock give it up. Shot clock down to 2. And that is the way to play defense. And out of bounds that will be Knick basketball, but Oubre contested that beautifully.
Well, this is how you go on runs. You string stops together. That's 2 great defensive possessions to start the half. Well, they still have the ball.
But rebounding, that will be kind of the next thing. 29-20 New York advantage. R.J. Barrett with the post up. Draymond comes to double. Shot clock down to 4. Randall making something out of nothing. 3 straight stops and a 24-second violation. How about that? I mean, they right now, the Warriors look very engaged this first minute defensively.
You can tell they talked about some things at halftime.
Steph to Oubre, but there's Nerlens Noel. And Curry, little step back 3. Impossible for anyone else, but just routine for him.
Hey, they ran the Steph back screen. They switched that. That didn't work. Steph's defender topped him. Go back door. If your first option doesn't work, keep playing.
Bullock, he loves that 3-point line. Nerlens Noel couldn't pull the rebound. Draymond probing. Curry just kind of weaving through the lane into the shot blocker. Draymond hitting to an open spot. And Looney coming up with it. Curry, the fancy dribbling, and then the little 2-pointer. And Tom Thibodeau has seen enough of that.
Steph hasn't missed a beat.
So Curry, 16. I think he got healthy on the 2 days off in between.
Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The distinctive skyline of Gotham City in New York. With the Warrior lead at 4. Warrior fans, with Xfinity Mobile, you can save hundreds on the most reliable network nationwide. Your wireless, your rules only with Xfinity Mobile. And Steve Kerr's got to be very pleased with the first couple minutes of this quarter.
Warriors want to sustain this effort, this level of intensity, this attention to detail defensively. And you got that man rolling offensively.
Said the Knicks average only 103, so they're 59 in that first half was some pyrotechnics. Bullock challenged, but you're going to get a foul. And this is going to be offensive. Looney went to block that, but I think the free arm was the shove.
The off arm. I'm going to say it's a pretty good play. You got Nerlens Noel setting a screen for Andrew Wiggins, and you got the help right at the rim. A little bit of an off arm. Oh, no, I think it was on Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
It was on Nerlens Noel.
Going for the rebound.
Put back.
And Thibodeau's going to get a technical foul there. He did not like that call.
Oh, that's smart. The Warriors helping each other. Steph willed that free throw in.
Yeah, an assistant with numerous different teams. Great head coaching job in Chicago. Really, I think Thibodeau's best work, obviously with New York, but when he was Doc Rivers' assistant in Boston, you know, he was kind of one of the architects with Doc for championship defense. And so Randall got a tee right after Thibodeau did. So, you know, if you would put Steph Curry in the line shooting technical free throws all day, that's fun.
The frustration setting in.
Well, Steph's got 17. Draymond looking for cutters. Oubre wing 3, rimming it out. There's Looney fighting on the glass. It'll be Knicks ball. Now, keep an eye on it. That was Nerlens Noel's 3rd foul, the one that Thibodeau didn't like. You know, without Mitchell Robinson, they got to go to Taj Gibson. So a 4th foul on Nerlens Noel would be big.
Thin up top.
And Looney contesting that. Looney trying to box out, but Payton just quicker to the ball. And Elfrid Payton, I'll tell you what, he's an underappreciated point guard.
I was going to say, that's smart on Looney's part. He gapped him, gave him the 3 ball, but then just forgot to box him out.
That's a
Yeah.
And there's the cut from Oubre. What has gotten into him in this last month moving without the ball?
It's beautiful offense. Beautiful. I believe that was a screen, a back screen that he used to perfection.
They're telling Draymond, you're by yourself on Randall. Steph is right attached to Bullock. They're daring Payton to shoot. That is the scheme right there. And that lead pass, unfortunately, becomes a turnover.
Got to look at the good pass, unlike this last one. No, never mind. We're not going to get it.
Draymond, 7 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, but the rare turnover there. And R.J. Barrett flat. And Steph, rebound in motion. And all these fouls, we're early in this third. This is a way to get into the bonus, particularly on the road.
That's what you want. It's sometimes tough with all the stoppages, but when they're going your way, you can use it to your advantage.
So Barrett now with 3. Nerlens Noel with 3. Steph hiding behind Looney. Gets it back to him. Then the cutting Oubre. Oh, man. Kelly Oubre's movement. I mean, he's got 11 now, but just the way he scored the last 12 games.
He's just looking at his defender, turned his head. He's watching the ball. Didn't see man and ball.
Randall's always their bailout. Knicks are struggling. Get it to Randall. So the double team comes. Shot clock down to 7. And then Randall put his head down, and he will be fouled on the pass.
I see you had him right where you wanted him. We got to look at Oubre's last bucket. This is the movement without the ball. They're running pick and roll, and R.J. Barrett is just so focused on the action with Steph and Looney, forgot about his man.
The lob to Nerlens Noel. And Looney tapped his chest. They did not play that well.
That's tough. They double team the ball, and the ball screen's happening almost right off the block. You're getting no help.
Steph tried to sneak it inside. Good defense, Nerlens Noel. Behind the back to Looney, and very patient. He kind of stapled Nerlens Noel to the ground.
Well, he thought about passing it, and he was like, you know what, I'm close enough to the basket. Let me just try to power up. You got to finish that highlight reel pass from Steph. Come on now.
R.J. Barrett has been bottled up. We mentioned the average is 25 against the Dubs. Randall will get to the line. Looney came with the foul.
So he went so quick because he didn't want to get double teamed. But this is the creativity from Steph. Okay, what do I do here? 2 defenders around me. Let me just wrap it around my back. Kevon Looney's like, should I pass this out? No, that was too good of a pass. I got to go up and finish and get my guy this assist. Look, do I pass it to? No, no one's there. Yeah, finish. Go ahead.
Looney's got 4 assists, 3 rebounds. That was his only field goal attempt. He made it. And just in 11 minutes, just the steadying of Kevon Looney, then the athleticism of Wiseman, and just like, it's so good to have most of the roster back.
Well, with Kevon Looney, you honestly have to watch him because he's going to do a lot of stuff that gets no stats.
Right.
He's going to set great screens at the right time. He's going to move the ball. He's going to get the assist before the hockey assist. Or the pass before the hockey assist.
Wiggins lasering that in. And just to back up your point, the Warriors were down 4 at halftime, right? But Looney was +8 in the minutes he played. So they were -12 when he sat.
That's when I like the plus negative. Sometimes I don't like it very much. But with him, it's perfect.
You look at the trend. Don't just take one game, but
Exactly.
just the trend. And there was Looney sending away Barrett, who now throws it away to Steph. Running to Oubre, who'll high-rise and put it down.
Kelly Oubre Jr. is always ahead of the break. And that basically worked as an outlet pass to Steph. It was perfect. Forcing turnovers.
Warriors' biggest lead right now. Tell you, Draymond's working hard on Randall, but Randall's really good. Looney there deflecting it. Oubre tipped it away. Steph fastest man to the ball, but he touched it last.
But they're collapsing on Julius Randle's drives. First of all, Draymond did a great job on the ball, but this is the Warriors making it tougher in the paint. We talked about this. They want to get to the rim, make it tough on them, and defense turns to offense, forcing turnovers, make it tough.
And Payton down the lane, laying on the rim. Draymond just tipped it away. Wiggins, he has Noel behind him. We said if Nerlens Noel gets his 4th foul, New York's in trouble. Wiggins, no one's underneath. And he's like, I'm going to step back and shoot a three.
That's how you feel they got
And then
another
Steph
turnover.
steals it. Curry three, rimming out. I don't know what Oubre was doing, but he will take that one out of bounds.
You have to laugh at that. He thought he was going to get up higher than he was able to. He tried to throw it in. Oh, my goodness.
I'm still... I got a thought on that Wiggins three I'm going to run by you in a second. As Randall show and go. And you're going to get it 3 seconds in the key. All right, so Andrew Wiggins and Jimmy Butler, okay? He took that personal. Is he, and this is the Oubre kind of craziness here, but with Thibodeau being his former coach, you'd think, hey, he's going back, except Tom Thibodeau met with Steve Kerr when they traded for Wiggins and said, Wiggins is a great kid. This is how we got the most out of him. I loved coaching him. There was no issue there.
There was no issue there. And Andrew Wiggins is the kind of guy. He's not really...
Erlen's the well, good block. Finish your Wiggins thought.
Yeah, I don't feel like he's one of those guys that wants to get revenge or really thinks too much about that. The Jimmy Butler thing, maybe a tiny bit different, how crazy that was. Maybe he was thinking about that a little bit. For the most part, he's so easy going. He's not really thinking about all that.
Peyton with the little floater, and Steve Kerr will use a timeout. But yeah, Wiggins, a one-on-none three. How hot am I? Now, the Warriors have flipped this third quarter completely around. After an all-star reserves, and incredibly well-deserved. I'm looking for Devin Booker, and he is not on that list.
I need to see Devin Booker on there. I would have taken Chris Paul off. I understand you appreciate Chris Paul and the veteran leadership that he's brought to the Suns, defense, all those different things. This is the East.
I have no issue with the East.
I like the East.
And I think
I was glad to see Zach LaVine get in there.
You know, the coaches picked the reserves. I didn't have a problem with the fans' vote other than
Luka.
Well, to me, I would look at Brooklyn. They're great, and I love the players on there. But, you know, games played matter to me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so when you're 32 games in and, you know, there's guys who've missed half the season for numerous reasons. Can you be an all-star if you miss half the year?
It was going to be tough to keep someone like Kevin Durant.
Well, no, I mean, you can't have a game without KD and Kyrie.
Right.
James Wiseman is fouled. So that's just always, you know, kind of the durability. You know, Steph missed that one game. That's the only game he's missed all year.
Right.
Like, I value that. That's where the Karl Malones and the Michael Jordans were even better for me because they never missed.
I hear you. I would have probably not had Anthony Davis in there.
Okay.
Because I just feel like, yeah, his numbers are all-star-ish, but not for him.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a down season for him.
And the one thing, and I'm going to pull back on this, in this COVID year, I'm not dinging anybody for missing games because it's so funky for everyone.
Yeah.
So
it's an asterisk if it's
exactly
COVID misses.
Yeah. So the health and safety protocols also makes games missed a little.
But I would have had Damian Lillard as a starter instead of Luka.
I agree with that 100%. Especially with Portland's record, because I value winning too. Wiseman made both free throws, and Barrett is fouled on the baseline. You know, Barrett is 1 of 7. So credit to New York that they had the offense they had, but normally he's one of their engines.
And I don't think we've seen this trio, but him, Quickly, and Randall together offensively
are their best little three-man offensive unit.
So I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen them on the court together this game.
They're trying to get Barrett going, but the Warriors are aware of that. Randall, well contested by Wiseman. But rebounding is becoming an issue in this game. You know, when Wiseman goes out to contest that shot, the other guys in blue got to get it.
That's the frustration. You're doing a much better job making it tough on them in the paint. Got to finish the defensive possession.
Second chance points. The Warriors are fortunate. It's only 16-10 as Steph was fouled.
Noel is asking for a challenge.
And Thibodeau got a tee. Randall's gotten a tee. I could see why the Knicks would be a little spicy.
Noel just reaching in. Yeah, that's all ball.
Yep, that is.
They challenge that. That would get overturned.
And we pointed out at the 8-minute mark, all those team fouls piling up. Every little whistle now is multiple free throws for the Dubs.
Bonus.
If I put you against Steph in a free throw contest, how long would you last?
How long would I last? Like, I would keep shooting, if that's what you mean. I would last forever.
But you don't, because Steve Kerr used to do free throw contests with
Steve
Steph.
Kerr can still shoot.
Hey, don't sleep on your 80%.
I can shoot it, but Steph is next level.
And now Curry with the foul.
Well, don't join him in the fouling. You want to stay disciplined down here. You've had a great third quarter. Came out of halftime with your intensity through the roof. You want to stay there. Be disciplined. Yeah. Don't bail them out.
And the Warriors have been good on both ends. It's not just a bunch of scoring. Nerlens Noel. And he used the rim to kind of bother Wiseman there.
They did a great job of passing that one late, making Wiseman commit just a little more. He's trying to play in between. Made it tough on him.
Noel's got 8. Curry catch and shoot 3. And then here come the Knicks. 11-point lead inside 4 minutes remaining in the third. Knicks were up 4 at the break. Randall, you see that passing. And he sets up Burks for 3.
Burks did a great job of sliding to his right to the corner. And Bazemore lost sight of him just for a second. And that's the playmaking ability of Julius Randle.
Oh, beautiful. Wiseman and Draymond on the same page.
And guess why that happened? Because Steph came off of him. His screen. His defender took a step towards Steph. You know the rest.
So Wiseman's got 10 off the bench in his 12 minutes. And they get it out of Payton's hands. Now Barrett getting left. Wiseman changed that shot. And then Oubre the long rebound. Draymond attacking, dropping it off, and Big Jim able to float it in. Draymond Green and James Wiseman together. He will tutor him defensively. He will feed him offensively. As good as Steph and Clay and Wiggins are, how good is that group going to look together?
Something to be excited about when you think about the future. Draw his man in. Make it easy for the big man. Or his size right there.
You like it in the gold, not the blue?
Yes. I like them both. Okay. I just like that jersey. That's one. I have that one hanging up in the closet.
2,000 fans for the first time this year for the Knicks.
Socially distanced.
And I would love it, particularly we get into the testing and the safety and everybody getting vaccinated. It'd be great to have Dub Nation back in Chase Center.
Can't wait to see them back.
But if you're just getting home for work or just tuning in, Wiseman back, Looney back, Curry back. Randall for 3.
He's shooting that well, around 41%. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's doing the Carmelo three-point celebration. 3 fingers to the head. Tracy Murray?
It is. Tracy Morgan.
Morgan.
And Steph blocked by Taj Gibson. And Randall handling. Alec Burks. Burks, I'll tell you what, he was not much of a three-point shooter earlier in his career. He's become like a cold-blooded 40% three-point shooter off the bench. And the Knicks are right back in it.
With his quickness and ability to get to the rim, it makes him even tougher to guard.
Oubre couldn't get an angle to get it to Wiseman. That ball deflected. Still be Warrior ball with 10 to shoot.
You can feel it here. The Knicks have a little momentum. Transition, opportunists in transition. You saw Randall make the pass, but not only make the pass, screen off the man that could close out.
Warriors' biggest lead was 13. Payton's a good defender, but Steph will quick shot him and drop in a 3.
Hey, Payton thought he was close enough. It's that quick release. It's just lethal.
So Steph is 6 of 14, but 5 of those are 3s. Randall made 1. Randall will get himself to the line.
That's tough because Kelly Oubre Jr. fell down and he had to get back up. And as soon as he got up, Randall was in attack mode. No way to cut him off.
7th pick of the Lakers in 2014. He's still only 26. the evolution of his game is really remarkable.
Well, this is his best year by far, but he's been a really good player, someone that's really dangerous. Ask Draymond Green. He's always had the face-up game. We're talking about his ability to make plays for his teammates now and lead the break and see the floor. His vision has gotten better. So I just think it comes from experience, film study, figuring out other ways to be effective and really make your teammates better.
Isn't that when you're young, good players do for themselves, great players do for others type of thing? And
yeah, it's just growth. Like, it's not just about scoring and getting yours. Now he's confident in his own ability to where he can be unselfish. I'm going to get mine. Well, let me bring my teammates along for the ride, too.
When he was a rookie with the Lakers, I thought, okay, he'll be like a Zach Randolph type, right? And then now you just see the assists and the three-point shooting. Burks deflected that. We'll call it a pass to Curry. A little Curry flurry as Steph hits a couple triples.
That works. It's so funny and frustrating for the Knicks because they double team his pick and roll. They're like, okay, we got him out of the play. And all of a sudden he pops up and knocks one down.
15 in the third for 30. Derrick Rose missing short. Taj Gibson to an open spot. They double team Randall, but they leave Burks. And the Warriors fortunate there.
Super fortunate. Got to get some rotation or something to the shooters.
Steph attacking. Wiseman had picked up the dribble. Steph around Payton, serving it up. Wiseman keeping it alive, but Taj Gibson comes up with it. Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson have been with Thibodeau at multiple stops, so that's why they're here. And Randall, I'm telling you, this guy is something else.
He's handling it pick and roll, shooting threes off of pick and roll. Tough.
They're making him work 6 of 16, but he's got 20. Oubre will attack and float it up and out. Gibson with the rebound. That was the 2 for 1 as Oubre shot that. The skip pass. And Derrick Rose missing that 3. So he's coming back to earth after that 4 for 4 start. So shot clock off. Down 4 at halftime. Push it to 13. Leading by 7 right now. Wiseman with the big step. Wiseman floating it in.
Again, Steph came off of his screen and is creating easy baskets for the big man.
14 points in 16 minutes for Wiseman. Move without the ball. Draymond will find you. And the Warriors trying to get a win on the road with the fourth quarter on the way. The guys said it on Warrior pregame live. You can't have a must win right now, but you know what? Tonight kind of felt like you got to get this. And so here they have the lead with Steph and Wiseman and Oubre and Wiggins, Draymond, everybody playing well. And you know what we get to, Kalena? We get to a lead in the fourth quarter. Have we seen that movie before on this road trip?
We have. We definitely have. And this group that's coming in without Steph, can you sustain that lead or even extend it? And Andrew Wiggins is going to be super aggressive.
Well, they're putting Pascal at the 4 here. He's going to work on Obi Toppin. He's got to either leave the lane, get rid of the ball. He does. And then that was to beat the shot clock, and he kind of put Wiggins in a bad spot. So Steve Kerr said he was going to have Pascal play some 4. So Looney starts with this group at the 5. Taj Gibson. You know Burks is going to keep firing, but these are the rebounds. If you've got Looney and Pascal on the glass, that should help.
And make sure you rotate out of that double team to the shooters. Oh.
Looney thought Bazemore would stay, and instead he went to the corner. So keep an eye on this second unit here. Warriors done a good job taking care of the ball against a very good defensive team. Burks and Gibson, along with Rose and Quickly, and Obi Toppin. Now, that is in front of the Warrior bench. Officials communicating. C.J. Washington looking over at Mitchell Irvin, and it will be Knicks ball with 4 to shoot.
But that time they rotated out of the double team much better. You're double teaming the pick and roll. Get to the shooters in the corner. Burks is one of those shooters.
They've got 9 on the shot clock here. So Derrick Rose working on Wanamaker. So Rose started 4 of 4. He's 1 of 6 since. We mentioned he'd been struggling. Bazemore finally missed a corner 3. You don't mind if the score stays like this, but when you've had 2 fourth-quarter leads evaporate on this trip, you'd like to see a little positivity. Emmanuel quickly with a step-back 3. And if the Knicks want to keep missing, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
And taking contested threes, which is not their strong suit.
Pascal getting downhill. Now, for the second half for New York, these last 2 games, even though they won 4 out of 5, how about a 34-point half against Orlando and a 42-point half against Minnesota?
They've really struggled in second halves. And see if the Warriors can take advantage of that. You want to stay solid defensively, make them take tough shots. Tough threes are nice. And then you have to execute on the offensive end. Be decisive and make quick decisions.
Trying to get a bucket here with this unit. All that collapse on Wiggins. Ooh. And Wanamaker had that block by Derrick Rose. So this Knicks reserve unit is not scoring, but their D is awesome. We got 2 minutes of shutout basketball. And D. Rose will get to the line. Tell you, in Chicago, when he was the MVP, he was represented by a very shady lawyer named Bob Myers, who was his agent. I don't know what happened to Bob. But everyone who loved basketball, when Derrick Rose blew out his knee, it hurt. And then to see him resurrect his career has really been awesome.
He fought so hard to get back, and he still has some explosiveness and some quickness. When he gets in the game, he plays a really good role for the teams he's on. Same with the Knicks.
Warrior Basketball Academy is reopened in the facility in Oakland in a limited time, offering a free physically distanced Shoot 360 workout. All at gswacademy.com. And, Kay, because you had the knee injury, just, what that does to someone's psyche and mentally and the whole bit. And it's not easy. And I don't think fans really get an idea of what players go through in those significant injuries.
It takes a really mentally tough person to go through that rehab, the tedious, redundant rehab, and come back and be as athletic as he is.
Well, the Warriors very cold here to begin the 4th, and they're not getting anything inside. And nice steal, and Pascal will pick up the foul. He just took it from Derrick Rose.
Hey, he's the bigger human being, the stronger one. Just caught Derrick Rose off guard. And something's happening here. I saw the little twirl of the fingers.
Yeah, are you getting a challenge here? Will be an interesting one.
So,
no, you know what they might want to see? Is this a clear path?
Oh, there you go.
That's what it's going to be.
There you go.
That's what you saw the twirl for. Josh Tiven in his 11th year, the crew chief. He's done 39 playoff games. So did it begin in the backcourt? It did.
Got Obi Toppin.
It's a leaner.
Yeah.
It's a leaner. I would say that Rose was side by side with Pascal. So to me, I don't know that they go clear path, but it's close.
I think
very close.
It needs to be clear, too, that it's clear path. A clear path is what you need. Okay. I don't think that was a clear one. Is enough clears for you?
But that's, for Pascal, give me an idea, him playing the 4 versus the 5. I mean, a huge adjustment? He'd been doing small ball 5.
Not a huge one. You may have quicker defenders at the 4 if you're going up against slower bigs at the backup 5. So it's a little bit of an adjustment. And I think one he's capable of making when it comes to figuring out, okay, how do I attack the quicker players? He may be a little stronger than some of the guys he's guarding. So you can back him down, get a little closer to the rim.
Last 5 for Pascal, 12 points, 5 rebounds.
There was no defender in front of the play at the time the foul was committed. It is a clear path to the basket. It's going to be two free throws. Golden State ball on the side, 22 on the shot clock.
So what Josh is saying is...
I was wrong there.
Well, no. He's ruling that Pascal was ahead of Derrick Rose. We said, I thought he was about the side of him, but that Pascal was ahead of Derrick Rose, and that Obi Toppin, the player you pointed out, was not ahead of Pascal.
He wasn't.
Okay, so
it was a close one, but...
So that is the... That's the clear path, and that will be free throws plus possession.
See if
and the reason this rule exists is they don't want fouls from behind. Fast breaks are a fun part of the NBA.
Let's see if this gets Eric Paschall going.
So 1 out of 2 from the line, but possession as well. Tell you what, between Looney and Wiseman, Steve Kerr's got to be thrilled at the center production tonight.
Definitely. And with this group, you're running sets, so you want to make sure you execute. Andrew Wiggins is going to get the ball a lot. You got to get the ball in bounds first.
Yeah, the turnover on the inbounds, and then fortunate that Burks didn't finish. The outlet now, the Warriors running back. Paschall's in the middle, and Paschall just ran over Derrick Rose. So if you're DVR in the game, don't watch the last 40 seconds because that was pretty ugly all the way around.
It's like the Monstars came down and stole everybody's talent for the last few minutes. But usually he sidesteps or something. It looked like he was about to try to sidestep, but he decided to a little too late.
That is a legit charge. You still got about 3 minutes before Steph and Draymond come back in. But the Knicks, they can't make a basket. I mean, what's happened is 3 minutes have come off the game, and neither team has any traction at all offensively. Understatement of the season, since they haven't made a field goal. We've had only free throws, and it stays that way. They are number 1 and number 2 in field goal percentage defense, so
yeah, no one's really creating anything easy. You got to get a little more creative, both teams.
And quickly had Paschall on a switch. Now he's got Looney on a switch. And every guard thinks they're going to beat Looney, and they never do. And Bazemore stepped in beautifully to knock that away.
Help the helper. That was perfect.
Just something to the basket. Man-involved movement. Or just a Eric Paschall on former teammate Alec Burks ISO. Taj Gibson was there. And Paschall.
It's tough.
And Gibson contested that shot. And we're going to get to a mandatory. Both teams will be happy. But Derrick Rose, our first fourth quarter field goal occurs 4 minutes in. So if the Warriors hadn't had 2 rough fourth quarters on this trip, he wouldn't be as nervous. 6 with 8 minutes remaining. And you know the story. The Warriors had the lead in Orlando. They had the lead in Charlotte. And you'd like to say, oh, they're getting good looks. Well, the fourth quarter, they're not getting good looks. The Knicks defense has been good, and the Warriors haven't made a field goal.
Steve Kerr is going, what can I draw up for this group in here? You're going to have to get creative, run a lot of set plays, need to execute. If the Knicks are switching your screens, maybe you screen your own men, maybe you slip some screens, maybe you try some fake handoffs, and you may just have to try to rip it through and get by your man. See if they want to play consistent, good all-ball defense, or you could just bring on Steph and then go from there.
Well, I mean, Steph is going to come in 2 minutes earlier than normal.
Interesting. Which
I think gives you an indication that this game is a little more important than you might imagine. Draymond's right with them. Bazemore missing that 3.
Well, that's the thing with Steph out there. You got someone that's going to draw a double team, and you just try to play out of that, make them rotate.
So Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson playing with Burks, Toppin, and Quickly. And Quickly fouled by Bazemore. Now, you've done a good job of limiting fouls in this game. You don't want a Knicks parade to the foul line in the fourth quarter.
Especially those. That's not really a threatening drive. You weren't really in a bad way to where you had to foul or they were going to score. Those are the frustrating ones. A good double team, you're still in good position defensively, and you let them off the hook.
So Taj Gibson with the shot clock at 8. Quickly's going to get another running start here. They double Quickly. Gibson, the decision maker. Draymond saw it.
The help and recover. He fooled the offensive player. Oh, no.
Wiggins loses it. And so the Warriors still without a field goal, but now you don't want the turnovers to pile up. Derrick Rose didn't want the 3. And kick it out. And Toppin will launch and knock it down. And so it's not an instant replay of Orlando and Charlotte yet, but it's starting to feel that way.
You talked about them losing that lead. Now you're trying to quell this momentum any way you can.
Get a 13-point lead in the third. You're in good shape heading into the fourth. but you haven't scored until now. And Draymond finding Pascal.
That was so smart. They weren't playing Draymond, but Draymond, instead of settling for the three like they wanted him to, you just take up the space and make it to where they have to commit or you're going to score, and then you make the pass.
One field goal so far, but protecting the 5-point lead. They double Rose. Bazemore dared quickly. He didn't pull the trigger. And quickly turns it over and then fouls Bazemore.
There you go. Off the double team. Quickly's a little indecisive there. You're switching when you need to. Decisive switching, staying away from mistakes. Make them make a play. Make them do something.
I mean, if you're a young guy, you're 1 of 5, and you're given that shot, and then you don't take it. And
they got him thinking a little bit. They got him in his head. He is a rookie. Make him make a play.
And so Elfrid Payton is in. Thibodeau making that adjustment. Midway through the fourth. Oh, Wiggins kind of ran into Steph.
Steph was
Shot clock at 7. Draymond comes to bail out. There's the ultimate bailout, a Curry 3. And the Knicks really are playing quality defense, so Randall now will handle.
And Steph and Wiggins weren't on the same page there.
Draymond's there. Randall couldn't get the shot up. Burks knocked away Draymond Green. And then they foul Curry in transition. And these are where the team fouls are piling up right now.
Draymond's so good defensively. Making it tough on him. Active hands. No mistakes. Helping. Ready to help when he needs to be ready. And that's how you get out in transition. That's how you get the tempo where you want it against this slow-paced Knicks team.
Yeah, Draymond's got a block, 2 steals, 11 assists, 8 boards, 7 points, and single-handedly is trying to drag the Warriors across the finish line with the help of Curry. Randall kind of held Steph initially there. Wiggins has a good look. The Warriors cannot buy a basket. I mean, we're talking a 1 for fourth quarter right now. Barrett, kind of a wild shot and out of bounds to New York.
He wants to.
Now, Draymond's asking Steve Kerr, and he's looking behind the bench for the video, whether or not they want to challenge who the ball is off of. You saw him say, "I promise you."
They're going to do it.
There will be a challenge.
Draymond was so adamant. Coach Kerr was like, okay, I'll challenge.
Every possession feels like it's going to matter unless the Warriors get untracked offensively. We called it a redemption game for Draymond Green, our Ram player of the game. 7 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. And Randall's got his points, but he's 7 of 17 because Draymond's been everywhere defensively. And I think he just won a coach's challenge, too.
There you go. This is when he's at his best. And Coach Kerr trusts him. It's a successful challenge. Got him. Look. See? Told you.
Just having fun with C.J. Washington.
See, I like to see that. Draymond and an official smiling at each other.
And Draymond, you know, we saw it, we said it. He told Steve Kerr, "I promise you, it's off of them." The score in the fourth quarter is 7-3. Knicks. Where's 5:11 left in the game here?
It's wild. See if the Warriors can get going offensively here. They're working defensively.
They're going to need something. Pascal cutting. Oubre's got a wing 3. And then the rebound by Randall. He loved the defense holding New York to 7, but a 3-point quarter on the road in the fourth as Derrick Rose is denied by Draymond. Taj Gibson a new opportunity. Payton down the lane, can't finish, and there's Draymond again. His 9th board. Can he get something close to the basket? And Oubre couldn't finish that.
It's the right mentality, though.
And a little body foul that will count that basket as Elfrid Payton will have an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Eric Pascal's dumbfounded. It's like, what did I do? What am I supposed to do? He may have gotten him with the body, maybe a little bit, but that's a tough call.
So Elfrid Payton He's got 18. Randall's got 23. Derrick Rose 16. The three Knicks in double figures.
Well, they're going to keep attacking the rim. That's what they do best. That's where most of their points come. And Elfrid Payton has really done this the whole game. And it's interesting because he's so one-dimensional. He can't shoot. But he's still found ways and lanes to get to the rim.
The Warriors have 3 points in the fourth. Draymond, the decision maker. The floater doesn't go. They're still stuck on the one made field goal and the Pascal free throw.
They're staying home on Draymond, making him score. Double team Steph. Let's make Draymond beat us.
Randall, he senses it's not Draymond, except Draymond was there from the weak side. Randall has tied the game.
He stayed with it. Most aggressive to the ball. Quick jumps.
3-minute and 40-second game. Curry for three. There it is.
That's so big time. That high pick and roll. Taj Gibson is trying to figure out, okay, do I stay back or do I come up? He was too far back as far as Steph's concerned.
The defense has been excellent both ways in the fourth for the Knicks and the Warriors. Draymond sends Derrick Rose away.
The versatility from Draymond on the defensive end.
Steph, he may take it into his own hands, missed the jumper there after hitting the three. Can you win a game with a 5-point fourth quarter? I don't think so. But you're up 3 inside 3 minutes. Derrick Rose missing, and it was Looney that changed that shot.
That was smart from Derrick Rose. They were zoning it up on the backside there, and he just tried to get to the weak spot.
Curry, all that attention. They leave Looney and Draymond alone. Curry, shot clock at 7. Steph tried the rip through. Turn, step, fire, rattle out. Stuck on 5 points.
This is crazy.
You've had the Orlando loss down the stretch. You've had the Charlotte loss down the stretch. Randall for 3. Taj Gibson the big rebound, and he is fouled. Now, I wish I didn't know that the NBA record for fewest points in the fourth quarter is 2, but I called that game Warriors-Toronto in the Eric Musselman era, and the Warriors blew an 18-point lead, and then the game went to overtime. They were outscored 20-2 in the fourth quarter, and then lost on a Morris Peterson 3 in overtime.
That's wild. Well, the Knicks are the lowest scoring team in the league because they play so slow. So this is their kind of game. The ugly, grind it out, a lot of stoppages, slow-paced type of game. So this is their comfort zone. The Warriors got to figure out ways to get some easier opportunities. Try to get to the rim on the other side, get stops on this end.
So Taj Gibson makes them both. You're up 1 with 2:16 left. The Warriors' last 6 losses, 5 have been by 5 points or less. All these tight games. And heartbreak twice on this trip. Oh, Wiggins made sure he didn't have that turnover. Drop it inside for the Oubre dunk. That might be the play in terms of Andrew Wiggins saved the day.
Jayhawks working together. Just get to the paint, draw that defense in, make the right decision. Kelly Oubre's man leaves him, find him.
2 minutes of crunch time. Elfrid Payton has had a wonderful game with 19. Drives again. Payton denied by Looney.
Yeah, he gapped him perfectly there.
They feed Draymond at the hub. They kick out to Looney. He's not going to shoot it from there. Curry will. His 3. Rimming out. Looney tapping it. But here comes Barrett. Full head of steam. Knicks have numbers, and then Draymond will commit the foul. Steve Kerr wondered if Barrett and Randall, if he had to travel there.
Warriors have been in so many close games. We were talking about that in the open. Figuring out how to close. And this is a pretty good pass from Andrew Wiggins. Getting into the paint. He's looking at Barrett down there, trying to play 2 under the rim. Made the right decision.
And Barrett,
that's big.
74% free thrower. That probably was a travel, so the big rebounder in the sky.
Ball don't lie. Rasheed Wallace would say that.
He probably would.
You want to box out here, someone get the shooter. If you're the Warriors.
Barrett 1 out of 2. So a minute 26 left. 2-point lead in the ball. You've had 2 heartbreakers on the trip. What happens the final 86 seconds?
The President's Day Sell-a-thon is on at your California Ford dealers, which means great deals are on across the lineup of Ford SUVs and trucks. For a limited time, you can get $4,500 total cash off a 2020 Ford Ranger Lariat. Plus, the all-new 2021 Ford F-150 is here. Come drive it for yourself. We're open today and ready to get you huge deals on America's best-selling brand. So get on the road to your California Ford dealers or shop on buyfordnow.com because the President's Day Sell-a-thon is on. Hurry, these deals all end March 1st.
None. I have none. Not at all.
When you look at the Chase schedule to finish off the first half of the year, at Indiana, back end of a back-to-back tomorrow, Charlotte, the one home game, and then look at that road trip. At Lakers, at Portland, at Phoenix. That's 3 of the top 6 teams in the NBA.
These teams are all in the playoff picture. Take it one game at a time. Get your preparation down. Be ready to play.
So you think about February, where the Warriors have had the 5 losses by 5 points or less. And in crunch time, the offense just has not been there enough.
Well, you think about with this game, they're trying to take away Steph. They're double teaming his pick and roll. They're saying, Draymond, we're going to stay home on everybody. We're going to take away your best ability, which is your passing. And you have to make layups and awkward floaters and all of that. So let's see what the Warriors go with. If they go with a Steph pick and roll, you got to expect a double team, figure out how to play out of it.
Yeah, Knicks have won 4 out of 5. They've been playing good basketball. On the inbounds, Draymond set that screen, and then Curry will flip it in and draw the foul. So he heard the whistle, felt the bump, floated it in, and an opportunity for a 3-point play.
That's why he's so lethal off the ball. They start him off the ball. Draymond sets the handoff screen. Taj Gibson tries to switch onto him, but Steph is coming off of there so fast. This is the low 5s with Bazemore, his boy. He's coming off of there so fast that Taj can't keep up. He's already got a full head of steam, and Taj is starting from basically a stationary position where he's sliding the other way first, and now you got to change direction and keep up with this speedster, Steph.
So Steph's got 32, knocking down the free throw.
Execution at a timeout, no surprise for Coach Kerr.
13 straight games for Curry, over 25. Passed Kevin McHale tonight for 88th all-time in NBA history in scoring. And you've got a foul on Looney as Gibson went to set the screen. That was kind of a weird one.
That's interesting. They're just trying to switch the screen. No, that's the frustrating ones that I'm talking about. Like, there's no, you got to make them make a play, make them make a shot. You give them a foul like that. Now they put points on the board with the clock stopped. You still got time, but it's such a close game. Every possession is so important. These are the things we're talking about. Cutting down on the mental errors, the mistakes. You get a little over-aggressive. You're excited, you're playing good defense, you switched it well, you got it under control, and then you foul them, and they haven't had to make a threatening drive or anything.
So the offense for defense substitution as Bazemore subs in. Gibson makes them both. It's a single possession ball game, but 3-point lead plus the ball here. They take the ball out of Steph's hands. Draymond wants to get it back to him. Oubre attacking the baseline, and Oubre will get to the line.
That's how you stay ready. You're not waiting for Steph to make something happen. They want a challenge. I saw body to body at the rim.
This is a foul. This would be a silly challenge. That's a foul right there.
Yeah, he's sandwiched between the 2 defenders. It's such a good attack from him because he saw Randall had an awkward closeout.
Now, you could say Barrett went straight up.
That's the thing.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
that second angle.
Just challenging the foul called on the floor.
That second angle may be interesting as Oubre went to shoot it. But for the Warriors, so many good things in that third quarter, and then you credit the Knicks in the fourth. Their defense was excellent, and the Warriors' second unit was relegated to shooting jumpers.
And now this may come down to, okay, how do the others play with Steph getting double teamed?
Yeah.
Do you stay ready to attack like Kelly Oubre Jr. was there and take advantage of the fact that they're going to be scrambling out of Steph's double teams? He's going to get rid of the ball. He's unselfish, and sometimes they're trying to start him off the ball and let him come off his screens, but you have to stay ready to attack. Be ready to make a play so Steph can count on you, and you may be able to get it back to him as he's going to keep moving without the ball.
Yeah, so for the Warriors, so many tight games. When you think of Boston, then you think of San Antonio, and then Dallas, and Orlando, and Charlotte, all losses by 5 points or less. You got to try to grab this game some way, somehow.
Yeah, you're just trying to cut down on the mistakes, no mental mistakes, and make sure you're solid on the defensive end. Don't bail them out with cheap fouls. Make them do something really good to score instead of just giving them fouls and letting them get free points at the line.
Now, we saw a second angle where you could make a case that Barrett went straight up, and it was Oubre's kind of momentum jumping into him, and Barrett gets that principle verticality.
Body contact is fine if they go straight up.
If they go straight up. I don't think Randall committed a foul, so this is going to be a very interesting challenge and review. The first angle, was like, hey, he got him with the body. Second angle really showed Barrett going up and down.
This is why I love the challenges. It's strategy, and you save them for times like this, late in the game where it's a huge monster call.
And Josh will tell us right now the final result.
Upon review, the challenge is unsuccessful. Barrett turns in midair, and there's hip-to-hip contact. That is illegal contact. 2 free throws coming for Oubre. New York loses their timeout.
So that is a key word. Incidental contact is fine. Illegal contact is a foul. And it's the turn of the body for the hip-to-hip. Had he gone straight up with the chest-to-chest, probably wouldn't have been a foul.
They don't want people getting those hip pointers. I used to get those all the time. The bruises on the hip are the worst.
So Oubre to shoot 2, but not insignificant as the Knicks lose a timeout.
Oh, that's big. That's big. These are big free throws, too.
And Kelly, 73% on the year, makes it a 2-possession game. That's key, making the first one. So Oubre's got 17, continuing his fine February.
Calmly knocked those down and then point at someone in the crowd.
They're playing the Knicks and the clock right now. They want to go to Randall. And the Warriors make him go to the other side of the floor. Derrick Rose had picked up the dribble. Elfrid Payton gets Looney on a switch. Payton down the lane, and that's a blocking foul.
And you got no challenge. You used it already. Wow.
Watch Payton on this drive. The pickup dribble is here. 1, 2, 3. Very close in terms of kind of the run.
Unless they call it on Looney with the initial right hand to try to slow down his drive, if they're calling the foul late, there was nothing there. Maybe early on in the drive.
73% free thrower. Payton is 3 of 3 tonight. And again, there's a basketball karma on occasion. It just seems that way.
And that wasn't even close. Sometimes it's close, it goes in and out. That's not a good look.
But rebounding is key for the Dubs. They've been out-rebounded tonight, 56-40. And they made the second one. Hear Draymond saying early because Randall went into the lane.
Easy. You're in good position here. Still up 4.
Clock's in your favor, too.
Clock's in your favor. Take your time. Get something good.
And you've got the right guy handling, but you said double team. He goes away from it. Steph down the lane. Drop it inside to Oubre. What a delivery by Curry.
Just outsmarted him, and the vision, the goggles, incredible.
Now Randall. And Oubre just took it from him. Just took it from him. Now they got to foul Curry. The first month of the season, Oubre would be in the corner expecting a pass out for the wing. Now he's moving without the ball, and Curry finding him.
First of all, if you double team Steph and he gets past it like that, it's over with. He's going to make your play. You're in such a compromised position. And the bench, they were way more excited than that. There you go. They're celebrating there. But the precision from Kelly Oubre Jr. to strip that last one, that was not easy to do. And he just snatched that right out of Randall's, and he was just left staring at the ref, dumbfounded.
That was the Andre Iguodala maneuver.
Basically.
So Curry, the closer here, 8 of 8 from the line.
Steph was just tired of all the double teams. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to give this one up. I'm going to outsmart him and just go away from this.
Randall just got his second tee.
Frustration setting in.
And he has been ejected. Now,
you know what? He's a little embarrassed, I think. The way Kelly Oubre Jr. just snatched that one from him, and then you got to kind of be mad just to make people feel like you were wronged or something.
I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question as Curry hits the technical. Did you enjoy the game at Chase Center with 80 free throws, or have you enjoyed this game with 43 free throws?
I actually like the 80 free throws. I like when the flow of the game is just terrible and a lot of stoppages.
55 fouls and 80 free throws.
That's my style.
And in a Draymond Green ejection where they gave him his money back because he was yelling at James Wiseman and got inadvertently tossed from the game.
Yeah,
so
Draymond's happy to see someone else get ejected here. Randall going out.
You know, this could be a revenge week. The Knicks got you, you got them.
There you go.
Indiana got you, you got a chance. Charlotte got you, you see them Friday.
Why not?
So Steph Curry, welcome back to the two-time MVP. It was nervous time in the fourth as Bullock finally hits a three.
You got a foul.
We'll keep fouling Curry, and he's going to get to that 40 that Chris Mullin predicted in Warrior pregame live. He's got 35. How many more times are they going to foul him?
Put this one out of reach. It's a two-possession game right now. If you hit 2 threes, if you hit these free throws, it's pretty much definitely over. But Steph, the Knicks double team, they thought it was a foregone conclusion that he was just going to give it up and make someone else make a play. Steph's like, nah, I'm going to cross this over.
Yep.
And you fall asleep. I'm getting to the rim, and then I'm going to draw that next defender and make the right pass.
Now, the Indiana game tomorrow is a weird oddity. The Warriors played Charlotte on the back end of a back-to-back, but Charlotte had a week off due to health and safety protocols. The Warriors are going to play the Pacers tomorrow on the back end of a back-to-back, and the Pacers have had a week off due to health and safety protocols.
Well,
so Domantas Sabonis and Malcolm Brogdon and friends are well rested.
Yes, they are.
So Curry knocking down a couple more free throws. Final 10 seconds. No need to foul anybody. Derrick Rose and Oubre yielding nothing.
Was that Draymond that yelled that? He's like, beat that up with another word added in there. He knew Kelly Oubre was about to do that.
So for the Warriors, it came down to crunch time. It was a 3-minute game and tied. And then Curry happened, along with Oubre. And an amazing game by Draymond with 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 7 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals. So they get one on the trip. The back end of a back-to-back on the way to Indiana. They come to America's most famous arena. And Steph Curry leads the Warriors to victory. Warrior postgame live is coming up next.
For a long, long time, when Steve Kerr first arrived as the Warriors coach, they would not lose back-to-back games. This team finding out a different way to grind, but they will not lose back-to-back-to-back games. And none of us would